4, we are going to see steps to fabrications of MEMS. So earlier we have seen that introduction of MEMS as well as the overview of the broad applications of the MEMS. So today we are going to see steps to fabrication of MEMS. So microelectromechanical system is a system of miniaturized devices and structures that can be manufactured using microfabrication techniques. So it is a system of microsensors, microactuators and other microstructures fabricated together on a common silicon substrate. A typical MEMS system consists of a microsensor that senses the environmental and converts the environmental variable into electrical circuit. So microsensors, microactuators and other microstructures fabricated together on a single silicon substrate, that is known as the MEMS device. So MEMS system consists of microsensor that sense the environmental and convert the environmental variable into electrical circuit. Then the microelectronics process the electrical signal which is sensed by microsensors, and the microactuator accordingly works to produce a change in the environment. So one type of energy is converted into the electrical signal. Then in fabrication of MEMS devices involves the basic IC fabrication methods along with the micromachining process involving the selective removal of silicon or the additional of other structural layers. So in IC fabrication methods along with the micromachining process, it will involving the selective removal of silicon or the additional of other structural layers. So in MEMS, the environmental variables are converted into the electrical signal, and according to that the decisions are taken, and according to that MEMS devices or system will work. So for that the fabrication process which are used that are nothing but the same as to IC fabrications along with the micromachining process. So let us see the types of the MEMS fabrications. So first technique, that is bulk micromachining. So in bulk micromachining involving the photolithography, so these are the steps which are used in bulk micromachining. So if you see, the first step is nothing but the masking film, then coating with that the photoresist, then along with that the mask alignment. So ultraviolet light passes through that the glass mask, and here whatever the photoresistive material is there, that is exposure or photoresist or development of that the area. After that etching is used to remove this part, and then after that stripping, so the final product looks like this. So let us see in brief that steps of MEMS fabrication using bulk micromachining. So in step first, it involves the circuit design and drawing of the circuit either on a paper or on using software like PSpice or Protix. So these are the software where we can draw the circuit diagram whatever we want for that the system or that the device. Then in the next step, it involves the simulation or the circuit and modeling using computer aided design, that is CAD. So CAD is used to design the photolithography mask, which consists of the glass plate coated with chromium pattern. So first steps involves the basic design of that the MEMS device or the system, and second step involves the simulation of that circuit using the CAD. So CAD is design the photolithographic mask, so which consists of glass plate coated with chromium pattern. So in a second step we will get the mask of the pattern. So in a third step, photolithography. So in these steps, a thin film of insulating material like silicon dioxide is coated over the silicon substrate, and over this organic layer sensitive to ultraviolet rays is deposited. So in third step, insulating material like silicon dioxide is coated over the silicon substrate, and over this an organic layer sensitive to ultraviolet rays is deposited using spin coating. The photolithography mask is then placed in contact with the organic layer. So the whole vapor is then subjected to ultraviolet radiation, allowing the pattern mask to be transferred to the organic layer. So the radiation either strengthens the photoresistive, weakens it. So the uncovered oxide on the exposed photoresist is removed using hydrochloric acid. So the remaining photoresistor is removed using hot sulfuric acid, and the resultant is an oxide pattern on the substrate, which is used as a mask. So in the third step, insulating material silicon dioxide is coated over the silicon substrate. Then after that, organic layer sensitive to ultraviolet rays is deposited. Then whole vapor is subjected to the UV radiation. Then pattern masks to transfer to the organic layer. So radiations which are the means uncovered oxide on the exposed photoresistor is removed using hydrochloric acid. So here in the third step, the oxide pattern on the substrate is generated, and which is used as a mask. Then in step number 4, it involves the removal of the unused silicon or etching. So it involves the removal of the bulk of the substrate either using wet etching or dry etching. So these are the two types of the etching, wet etching or dry etching. So wet etching is immersed in a liquid solution, and dry etching is subjected into under the gas. So in wet etching, the substrate is immersed in a liquid solution of a chemical enhance, which etches out or removes the exposed substrate either equally in all directions. So if it is equally in all directions, then it is known as the isotropic enhance, or in a particular direction, then anisotropic etchant. So properly used etchant are HNA, that is hydrofluoric acid, nitric acid and acetic acid, and KOH, that is potassium hydroxide. So in a fourth step, the etching is used. that is removal of a bulk. Then in a fifth step, it involves joining of two or more vapors to produce a multi-layered vapor, or we can say 3D structure. So it can be done using fusion bonding, so which involves direct bonding between the layers or using anodic bonding. So in a step number 5, so multi-layer structures are bonding with each other, which will make 3D structure. Then in a step number 6 involves assembly and integrating the MEMS device on a single silicon chip. Then in a last step, that is step number 7, involves the packaging, so of the whole assembly to ensure protection from outer environmental, proper connection to the environmental, minimum electrical interference. So commonly used packages are metal can package and ceramic window package. So the chips are bonded to the surface either using a wire bonding techniques or using flip chip technology, where the chips are bonded to the surface using an adhesive material that melts on heating, forming electrical connections between the chip and the substrate. So packaging is done for the protection of that MEMS device from the outer environment. So these are the steps are used in a MEMS fabrication using the method bulk micromachining. So next method, that is surface micromachining. So here manufacturing of cantilever structure using surface micromachining is shown. So initially silicon substrate is there, deposit silicon nitrate layer to protect silicon substrate, then grow oxide layer on top of silicon nitrate, then pattern oxide using mask and UV light, then deposit polysilicon layer, then remove that the oxide layer underneath the cantilever. So in surface micromachining, let us see which steps are followed for that the fabrication. So it involves the deposition of the temporary layer, so that is made up of by oxide layer or nitrate layer on the silicon substrate using a low pressure chemical vapor deposition technique. So this layer is the sacrificial layer and provides electric isolation. Then in a second step, deposition of the spacer layer, which can be a phosphosilate glass used to provide a structural base. Then in a third step involves subsequent etching of the layer using the dry etching techniques. So dry etching techniques can be reactive ion etching, where the surface to be etched is subjected to accelerating the ions of the gas or vapor phase etching. So in the third step, dry etching technique is used. So in the fourth step, chemical deposition of phosphorus doped polysilicon is used to form the structural layer. So in a fifth step, dry etching is used or removal of the structure layer to reveal the underlying layers. So after that, removal of the oxide layer and the spacer layer to form the required structure. So up to this, it is the surface micromachining. Then after these steps, the rest of steps are similar to bulk micromachining techniques. Then third method of the MEMS fabrication, that is Liga technique. So here the Liga technique is shown in this figure. So this fabrication techniques involves lithography, electroplating and molding on a single substrate. So in this fabrication technique, first step involves deposition of a layer of titanium or copper or aluminum on the substrate to form a pattern. Second step involves the deposition of a thin layer of nickel which acts as a plating base. Then in a third step, additional of an X-ray sensitive material like polymethyl methacrylate, that is PMMA. So in the fourth step, applying a mask over the surface and exposing the PMMA to X-ray radiation. So the exposed area of PMMA is removed and the remaining one covered by the mask is left. Then in fifth step, placing the PMA based structure into an electroplating bath wherein the nickel is plated on the removed PMA areas. So in the next, removal of the remaining PMA layer and the plating layer to reveal the required structure. So we have seen the three methods of MEMS fabrications: bulk micromachining, surface micromachining, and last is the Liga technique. Then there are some advantages of this MEMS technology. So let us see the advantages. It provides an efficient solution to the need for miniaturization without any compromise on functionality or performance. The cost and time of manufacturing are reduced. The MEMS fabricated devices are more fast, reliable and cheaper. So these devices can be easily integrated into system. So these are the benefits of this MEMS fabrication technique. Then according to this fabrication, let us see some practical examples of MEMS fabricated device. So first example is automobile airbag sensor. So in automobile airbag sensor which consisted of an accelerometer, so which is used to measure the speed or acceleration of the car, and the control electronics unit fabricated on single chip which can be embedded on the airbag and accordingly control the inflation of the airbag. So in this figure, this is the control electronics and this is the accelerometer which is used as an airbag sensor. The next example, that is my BioMEMS device. So MEMS fabricated device consists of teeth-like structure that has been developed by Sandia National Laboratory, which has the provision to trap a red blood cells, inject it with DNA, proteins or drugs and then release it back. So this figure shows that BioMEMS device. The next example, that is inkjet printer header. A MEMS device has been fabricated by HP, which consists of an array of registers that can be fired using microprocessor control, and as the link passes through the heated registers, it gets vaporized to bubbles, and these bubbles are forced out of the device through the nozzle onto the paper and instantly solidify. So in this figure, this is the paper, piezo element is there, and here injected system is shown. So this register that can be fired using microprocessor control. So ink passes through heated register, it gets vaporized to bubbles, and these bubbles force out through the nozzle onto the paper and instantly solidify. So this is our session in which we have seen the three methods of fabrications of MEMS and then advantages of these techniques as well as the examples of these fabricated devices. Thank you.